never gonna see any video of me crying. It's very hard after this breath working to not make me emotional.
How was it for you as a kid though, being bullied?
I loved to dance. Back in the days was not very well accepted for straight men. Oh my gosh, gay. And that destroyed my self-esteem. That made me make a decision, no matter who the person is, no matter what they do. I think everyone deserves to be treated with respect and love.
Entrepreneur, lawyer, investor.
This man will bring a smile to your face, no matter what you're going through in life.
Why do you think giving is so profound and powerful?
Man, I believe giving is the ultimate expression of love, even if you don't want to give. Why do you think people are in war in the Middle East now? Where do you think this starts? In families. You think if they both have families that every single day would wake up, teach you how to respect your neighbor, teach you to resolve things talking, you think a war would be happening now? You think our kids would go to war? A lot of people call me when they're really in the edge of needing a mirror. And the advices that I give, or the tips that I give, is the last one they ever expect. And I tell them.
You said the word trauma. Does that thing still come up in your current life?
I don't think someone can heal a trauma to never go there again. So what I do today, for instance.
Hello guys, Chris here and welcome to episode 40 of the Pocket Podcast. Today we have my good friend Diogo in the studio. We've done an episode with him before. It was a fan favorite and I had to bring him back again to have a cool conversation. This one went for a while. It was amazing. We spoke about a lot of different things. We spoke about something that was a really key takeaway from last time we had him on the show, the difference between God and religion. It was quite a profound thing to know. We unpacked different things. We did a breath work before the show, which got Diogo emotional, and unpacked some things in his life which were really profound. I think you guys are going to get a lot of value from this. So I'm going to end this intro here. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the episode with Diogo. We're rolling.
It's amazing because after this breath working, like, you're never going to see any video of me crying online. You know, it's very hard for me to cry, like to really be expressing my tears. But as an entrepreneur, as a provider, as a man that every single day wake up early and go back late and go through all the hard things you can imagine, all the obstacles you can imagine, we hold a lot of tears. And it's very hard after this breath working that you did with me to not make me emotional and to say thank you for starting this podcast with the breathing and breath working. I don't know what we just did. I barely done any drugs in my life, but I feel like the blood in my body flowing and I'm alive. And no matter the difficulties and no matter what we go through in life, as long as this blood is still flowing, and we are alive, we're gonna get through this. And thank you, man, for this moment before. I really was needing this. I was really needing. And it takes a lot of courage for someone to invite another male to lay on the floor and do a 10 minutes of breathing. Thank you, my brother. Welcome back to the Gold Coast.
Thank you so much. It's just such a profound thing to do. I think we can have all this chaos going on throughout our day, and for us to sit in front of each other and have a really good conversation, all of that needs to be dropped, and it needs to be that ability to close one door and open the other. And I think that's exactly what it does. It's kind of this reset. It's a connection to self. It's going, who knows what can unpack, especially when you're doing those breath holds. Your mind goes to another planet. But I'm just so grateful to have you back on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Because, man, like, the last one blew up.
Wow, until today, people talk with me about that podcast, and we never know, hey.
And I think what's crazy is you came on episode 20. We're recording this in episode 40.
Wow.
In those
Perfect.
20 episodes, so the show has doubled in amount of episodes, but it's quadrupled in size since the 20th.
Yes.
Episode.
Well done.
So it's 4 times bigger than when you last sat down in the chair in front of me. And I think, honestly, when I look at the lessons I've learned from you since we've met, is just this extreme sense of gratitude for life and this smile that's ear to ear on your face at all times. The biggest thing was like that comment section was, I need a Diogo in my life. I need this guy. His energy is contagious. So I'm blessed to be able to share this conversation again with you today.
Man, receive good energy. As I always say, if your frequency right now is 4 and mine is 10, or if mine is 6 and yours is 4, it's proved by science that immediately yours goes to the one that I am, the highest one. So tell me, how important is a friend to sharp another friend? So today, my friend, let's go, because I'm a 12.
So you mentioned just as we were getting started, you said you're an entrepreneur, you start early, you get back late. Why?
Man, because this is who I am. This is how I was born and wired. I always knew since a very young age that was chosen by this energy called entrepreneurship that is here to move society forward and not give up and willing to do things what not many other people are willing to do. And I was chosen. So once you are, nothing satisfies you as long as you are moving. If you stop moving, and you are one as well, you don't feel that you are you anymore. So that's a blessing and a curse at the same time to be an entrepreneur, because we cannot stop. I'm going to tell you something, and I imagine that this is going to make your soul, let's go to an island for 1 month, no Wi-Fi, we're not going to do anything rather than have juices and massages the whole day. How does that make you feel? Does that make sense? So, man, let's go to America. Let's travel the whole country. Let's record podcasts with 30, 40 people. Let's impact it. Let's meet Donald Trump. Let's go meet Justin Bieber. Look how your soul starts to feel. Let's go to the space. Let's create AI. So it's this, in my opinion, it's the type of soul that is here to move society, and move economy, and move social media, and move other people forward. And that's what you do with me, and that's what I do with you. I believe an entrepreneur is someone that everyone, and I see this looking at you, that comes in touch with you will live better. Can be in the line of a shopping center, can be on a grocery shop, can be someone that you meet as a client, a supplier. They will live better than once they met you, because this is the impact that we are here to bring.
But I think the impact of making someone leave you feeling better doesn't come from being an entrepreneur, because I think some entrepreneurs aren't like that. I think what that comes from as well is that connection to self and inner work and failure and going through enough shit. Because, and I guess when you link that, and I guess that's why there's so many similarities to business and life, is
True.
because if you're a true entrepreneur, you've failed and you make mistakes. It's not like the ones that have been handed everything in their life, they're not the ones that fail very much, right? So they're probably not that true blue entrepreneur. And then also they probably aren't as kind. I truly believe that the more shit you go through, your ability to be kind becomes a lot easier. And then if you're kind, that's when you can leave people feeling good.
Wow, that is amazing. Man, I'm not sure if you know, but back in the days in the Coliseum, the winner, when he won, like imagine a winner, but I'm talking about athletes back in the days. This is how it was, and not long ago. They were fighting for their life. Imagine this adrenaline. Imagine me and you going to watch a fight, but they're actually gonna die. Like, this is a completely different culture. Imagine the adrenaline in the state. Imagine how much they yelled. And once they won, imagine that the gladiator won or the warrior won. Everyone started to yell, Vencedore, vencedore. That means you won the pain. You beat the pain. And that's winner in English. Vencedor in Latin means winner in English. It's exactly the same word and comes from the same place. And that's what you said. For you to be the number one, for you to be a winner, you beat a lot the pain. So once you see a champion can be the number one rapper, number one athlete, you come to this person, or like you, when you see someone with a huge following that quadruple your podcast, I can come to you and say, Chris, well done. You have been beating the pain. Is that true?
Yeah.
The pain to wake up, to do your eyes, like to do everything that you do.
What defines a winner?
A winner, in my opinion, is someone that they know they're a winner in their heart. This is what a winner is. For me, it doesn't matter how everyone sees you. If you don't believe you are a winner in your heart, I always gonna remember this. Every year at university, you have a lot of people that receive the best degree, that finish with honor. But man, you know that one that really finished with honor is someone sitting at that table and they know they won. Does that make sense? We know how the system is.
So how do you get that then? Because I think there could be someone listening, you can't just click your fingers and go, okay, I'm going to have this winner mentality where I believe that I'm a winner. How do you think it's earned?
So I believe that you are a winner at the moment that you start competing against yourself. And every single time that you change a bad habit with a good habit, you are winning. You are beating the pain. For instance, I have a bad habit of smoking. From now on, every time I feel the desire of smoking, I will do a breath working. Only today I'm not gonna smoke. I'm gonna do breath work and not smoke. And then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I can guarantee you when you stop, you're gonna start with this sense of winning. And then you're gonna start saying, hold on, if I did this with smoking or any other thing that brings an addiction and sucks my soul, I can do with several other things. So this is what I believe, and this goes through everything in life, on being early to meetings, shakes people's hand, looking them in the eyes, telling the truth, being polite, and so many other things make you a winner.
And then what about like things like pride? Because when I look at winning, I feel like winning is, well, it's the opposite of losing, right? And I think what you're explaining there is I'm sensing it's like you're proud of yourself, you're confident in yourself. These are feelings like you've got a sense of pride, you've got some confidence about you. And I think those are the things that you'd be explaining there. Do you think that winning kind of comes with, like, I'm also trying to unpack these feelings of like, okay, I look in the mirror and I'm proud of who looks back. And I think if I go through enough failures and then I eventually win, I've kind of stacked this evidence, which then gives me some pride and some confidence. Do you think that winning helps you gain confidence and gain pride in yourself, and having that winning, I guess, winning against yourself?
So, man, that's a very good question. Your brain is so smart, and I love this about you. Very nice to meet you. So what I believe is a winner, and this I see a lot in the Australian culture, that is the fourth in the Olympics in the whole planet. And I've been living here. I'm Australian too. It's very similar to the American culture, Canadian, English, that if there is something like that we dislike more than we like winning, is dislike losing. Is that true? We hate losing. People that are high achievers or people that want to be the best version of themselves. So every time that you lose, you're actually getting fuel to win one day. Does that make sense? So we're going to lose a lot. Like you lose when a client doesn't call you back. You lose when someone treats you bad. You lose when you made the wrong decision with your money again. Oh, why I did this? But it's when you start losing, see, hold on, I don't want to lose because I dislike so much losing, no matter what it is. And I see this. Go and see the Aussies in the Olympics, how much they don't want to lose again. I will wake up early. I will do a bit more. I will eat more fruits or whatever it is. So I believe losing is the fuel to make you a winner.
I want to, we spoke about this a bit in the last podcast, but I want to see if we can go down a different route and talk a little bit about you as a younger kid.
Okay.
Because the reason I want to go back there is because I find that, and with speaking with so many people, so many of the things that we're doing today kind of stems from that little version of Chris or that little version of Diogo.
That is true.
Is there things of kind of vivid memories that you remember of your childhood, and in reflection, there's things that you're doing today that are like you were doing back then, and what were they? Is there any of those that you remember?
Yeah, 100%. Man, I was always very sensitive, and I was always able, in environment that I was, to see when people were trying to gossip or treating other people bad or trying to bully. So Earth actually for me was a very hot place when I was young because I was very sensitive, and a lot of times just because of human nature, and when we are young, we're all learning our emotions to go through a lot. But when you were young, and I remember this, I got very hurt by people that were supposed to be my best friends or to be there for me when I needed the most, but I was bullied or suffer or said, wow, so sad this with me. And today, the way that this reflects with me, say how this reflects with me after all this time. I don't want to treat anyone bad. I want to treat everyone with respect, love, listen, because there is no one too rich that cannot be poor tomorrow, and there's no one too poor today that cannot be very rich tomorrow. As I was telling you, 300 millionaires are made every day in the planet. Today is what, Tuesday? 300 new ones. Tomorrow, Wednesday, another 300. John, Mary, Peter can be you next week, tomorrow. So 300 people every day, people look at those 300 and say, I wish I treated them better. Because you never know, because money is a transfer and someone will transfer you. So for you to have this lucky day that someone is going to be transfer you, question for you, you think they're going to transfer to someone rude, unpolite, that has a terrible energy, that only complain. No, I ask you, imagine you wake up tomorrow, you have $100 million in your bank account. Are you going to give this to someone that you don't like? Are you going to share this with people that you think don't deserve? Would you share with someone that is a neighbor, that you know works extremely hard, always treat you well, always there for you, and you know that gets a bus every morning? Wouldn't you buy a car to this person? So that's money. It's an energy that once chooses people, those people then can decide, hold on, Chris, $100 million. What can I do with my money? And you can decide, is my local community, is a country in Africa, is in Asia. And that's what I believe is the beauty of people that are high achievers and are willing to do more in life, because they ended up getting a bigger portion of earth. That's how I see. And with this portion, they can share and decide what they are going to do according to their hearts.
A bigger portion of earth. So you're kind of saying that money is one with earth, in a sense. Is that what you're explaining?
Yes, I believe there, like every money in the whole planet, there is an energy there. And everyone has a portion of this energy with the amount that you have. Numbers have no feelings, we do. And with this portion of money, then you will decide, am I going to do good or am I going to do evil? Am I going to invest this in a $1 trillion industry called gambling, or am I going to invest this on a $1 trillion industry called healing cancer? Does that make sense? You choose as soon as you have, and that's why it's very funny, because it's very hard for you to see someone very rich or successful that is in between good or evil, or you're one extreme or the other. You know, and I believe that this is a season now that people like us are going to become it's 300 a day. And I imagine 300 light beings every single day receiving a good amount of money. A lot of them are young kids. A lot of them only want peace. They don't want wars. And we want to live a prosperous life. This is what most of people want, that are getting these riches and that are growing, having this energy. And I'm sure after your travel that I ask you now, you went to the US. In Australia, we think everything there is a war and everyone hates one another. I ask you, is reality this way, or everyone is super friendly, polite, kind, and hard, and know where they're going? Tell me.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, the people were insanely awesome. And there was no guns everywhere. There was none of this. There was no politics, none of this. And so it is interesting. I do want to go back to this point. It was fascinating, because you're saying when you're a kid, you got picked on, you got bullied.
Yes.
There was all of this negativity and people projecting a negative energy. So then when you're in your present self now, the last thing you want to do is any of that. So that's why you're so kind. How was it for you as a kid, though, being bullied? Was it quite a massive challenge for you as a kid? We will get back to the episode in just 1 minute, but I need to thank our sponsors of the podcast, Switch Nutrition. More specifically, I want to talk about these 3 products that are in my hand right now and foundational health. There is so many different supplements online, different people telling you all these different things to do, but I love to strip it right back to the foundations and what are the things we need to be doing every single day to take care of that foundational health. I take these 3 products every single day without fail. Hydrate in the morning to keep me hydrated and energized for the day. The adrenal just before bed so I can sleep like a baby. And then the collagen I have in my yogurt bowls every single day. It's good to hit that protein goal, but then also your hair, skin, joints, nails. It's a game changer. So if you want to try out any of these products, you can go to the link in the description or the show notes below, and that is my collections page where you can find all the products that I love and take every single day. Alternatively, you can go to switchnutrition.com.au and use the code Chris Griffin and you'll get 20% off your entire order. Once again, hit the link in the show notes or the description below, or go to switchnutrition.com.au to get 20% off your entire order if you use code Chris Griffin. We have a brand new sponsor on the podcast, Melrose Future Lab. Now, Future Lab is Australia's first dedicated longevity supplement range that is TGA approved and listed, Australian made and science backed. I'm not going to dive too into the weeds of all of their amazing products, but I just want to talk about one today that is their best seller, and I've been taking it every single day and have seen a noticeable difference, and that is the NAD Plus Booster. Now, this product is massively trending at the moment with Dr. David Sinclair, Peter Attia, Andrew Huberman, LeBron James, Hailey Bieber, Kendall Jenner. The list goes on and on and on. And that is because it supports the most important molecule in your whole body, which is NAD, and that is responsible for cellular renewal. In a simple sense, you are born with DNA, and there's a set of instructions that make up who you are. Now, your body replicates that information based on the set of instructions, but over time, as you age, it replicates it worse, hence why you age. Now, as mentioned, the NAD Plus Booster supports the NAD in your body, which is responsible for that renewal, which makes you replicate that instructions better for longer, which results in anti-aging. When your cells are firing on all cylinders, you start to have way better mental clarity, focus, energy, and you just start to feel like yourself again. You can find the Melrose Future Lab products at your local Chemist Warehouse in the vitamin aisle, or go to melrosefuturelab.com to get more info.
Man, I think, I don't know if you know this, but 80% of our thoughts are the same ones as yesterday. If you're someone amazing that renew your mind, that is someone that really connected, maybe 60. Can you believe that I have maybe 10 to 15 thoughts that since I am young and happen those traumas, I think about them every day? Like, it's something that I keep with me. Not many people know it. I'm here to share with you. For instance, I'm never going to forget the day, something simple that people don't realize. I was 11, 12, and I was really attracted to this girl. Okay, but I was so, if you see my photos, how I looked, I was like the whitest guy, very polite. Looking back, I don't remember even having many evil thoughts. I was very, raised. And then this girl with another friend, this other friend that came with her, and, Oz is called bitchy girls at school. And this girl came to me and looked at me and said, look at me. I'm never going to forget. It was the longest 5 seconds of my life. Look at me, up, down. And down, up, well, you're actually ugly. Man, and can you imagine until today, I remember like I was there right now, and that destroyed my self-esteem. So I can give you many other examples. For instance, I love to dance, but dancing back in the days was not very well accepted for a straight man. I never had a homosexual thought, and that was the worst thing. If I was gay, I wouldn't mind that. They are just calling. But sometimes I wanted to dance. Oh, my gosh, gay. And that would stay. Are you gay? You gay. Because back in the days, we didn't have this mental awareness and respect. And that used to make me feel upset because I was not. I was being judged. And then I said, wow, it's different. So I can give you several other examples that made me make a decision. No matter who the person is, no matter what they do, I think everyone deserves to be treated with respect and love. This is what I decided to do. And no matter who they are, this is what I've been trying to do in my life.
And why do those things still come up? You said 15 thoughts a day. Why do they still come up, do you think?
I believe to make me humble. And every day, no matter the amount of success that I ever reach in my life, I need to understand that everyone must be treated with love and respect, because I don't want to create any traumas. I don't want to keep going this trauma and this pain. Why do you think people are in war in the Middle East now? Where do you think this starts? In families. You think if they both have Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, you think if all of them had families that every single day would wake up, teach you how to respect your neighbor, teach you to resolve things talking, that war and fighting is we're never gonna do this, especially if someone that shares the same DNA as you is so small. You think a war would be happening now? You think our kids would go to war? And it's crazy because I want you to get one guy that is younger than 35, can be from anywhere, that want to go to a war. So war is old people that have problem with other old people, that send young people that have no problem with any young people to fight. And they stay back and they only look us fighting and killing one another for what? We are the generation that we don't want to fight. We want to prosper. We want to become millionaires. We want to help our parents. We want to help, like, we want to go to the space. We want to AI. We want to surf. We want to run. We want to do high rocks. We don't want to be holding guns and grenades and killing one another. Do you agree?
Yeah. Why do you think that the families aren't united?
I believe it's hate. I believe that hate is the worst thing that can happen. For instance, imagine if your family for 3 generations wake up every day and say, oh my gosh, I hate Brazilians. They just come here to get the waves. I don't surf, just an example. And then your father, here every day, I hate Brazilians, man. And then you will hate Brazilians. You're going to see, because it's all, everyone is bringing this out. So you wake up, oh, I hate Muslims. Oh, I hate Jews. Actually, I hate Christians. And then the whole family has this hate. And then if they come and fight or kidnap someone from my family or do something, I'm going to do 10 times worse because I already have this hate on me. So I'm just going to give back the hate. So I believe the healing for the planet starts in the families. It starts with a father and a mother or parents, whatever, coming to the kid and teaching them, hey, I will teach you human relationship. I'll teach what is bullying. I'll teach what domestic violence is. I'm going to teach what is going to happen in this planet if you lie, if you steal, if you deceive. I'm going to explain you what happens if you go to court with someone. You're always going to lose no matter what. There is no win. If you go to war with anyone, and I tell this to the next generation, no matter who you go to war with, you're going to lose. Even if Australia go to war with the smallest city, 100 people in the planet, we're going to lose a few people. No matter what you're doing, you will lose. So the best way is communication, dialogue, union. Because if you say the most prosperous times on earth, the times you're the richest and when you're more united.
So family and making sure that they're united and teaching the kids the right lessons. I think that's interesting. I remember you mentioned in our last conversation about how your family was always in a state that was ready to receive, but they were never really ready to give.
Yep.
And it rubbed off on you in a certain way. Can you talk to me about the lessons you learned from that and how that was back then?
100%. So the way that I was raised, and I'm so lucky and blessed that I was able to change and become the best version of myself. Because the way that I think is, my family always tried their best. My friends always tried their best. The government's trying their best. The church is trying their best. But we, as individual and human, we have the responsibility to filter what is good for you. I'm sure you don't follow all the advice from your mom and dad, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Is that true? So what happened is my family, we always had this mentality that we don't need anything from anyone. We do everything ourselves. Like we are self-sufficient. Anyone that is giving you something is because one day they're going to expect 10 times more in return. And then I was so like, everything that does not resonate with me now, didn't resonate with me when I was 6 or 7. That's why life was hard with me, because I was never able to live something that is a lie to me. Even if I did, I was not living. And I don't even remember much the times in my life that I was living a lie. That what is living a lie? Living a life that is not in your purpose. Living a life that is not your truth. So and then after realizing, I said, hold on. For sure, we are living society. We all have fingers. We all look to one another. We are friends. We are humans. We need to expect things from other people. This is how you build yourself. If you see the biggest kings on earth, so the biggest masters that ever stepped here, they always counted that they were always part of a community that were helping one another. So different than them, that they don't have business partners, do everything by themselves. I said, no, my life I will have several business partners. I will create relationships, because I'm going to tell, man, I much prefer have one slice of the cake, but a lot of people, when I die in my cemetery, like when it's bury me, then have no one and have the whole cake to myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you think that what I'm hearing a common trend throughout this conversation is you're learning things from your childhood and they're not things that you want to have in the long term. So you're doing everything in your power to do the opposite of that, because you kind of taken that lesson and go, I don't like the way that is. I'm going to do it a different way growing up. And you've kind of been taking lessons, changing the life that you then like kind of forming a life and being the person that you wish people were to you in a sense.
100%. And a lot of the things that I learned, that I understand now, that I look back and I look at my childhood and I make pieces, for the first time in my life, I understand why they act in that way. For instance, one thing that I asked my father that really hurt me, I said, Dad, you barely seen me growing up. You worked all the time. Actually, every man in my family, I barely see them. They're very successful, high achievers, but they only work. They're always working, always on their phone, and that's my memory. Do you guys regret not seeing us growing up? No, we don't. Because we barely see our fathers as well. They barely see their grandfathers. So you could see your son a little bit better. Because our responsibility as males is to provide to our families. And I believe, going back to the family conversation, a lot of men are not providing to their partners. 60% divorce rate, Chris. So put it this way, they're just escaping from responsibilities. They want to only make the bare minimum and have a comfortable life.
I understand that. I think what's interesting though is providing for your family is one thing, but going from 20 million to 100 million isn't going to change the amount in which you can provide to your family, yet it's still going to require a lot of time away from your family to go and earn that money. So if the goal for a male is to provide for the family and that's your responsibility, where do you draw the line? Because for me, I look at that and go, and the reason this is so relevant for me is because I've been speaking to a lot of people at this health club, St. Haven, I've been going to in Melbourne. There's a lot of really high achievers there. And this one guy, his name's Johnson, and he said this thing that stuck with me. He said that he's spending a lot more time with his family now, and he used to be business, but now he's really trying to incorporate this little bit of balance into his life to cherish the family and create and have kids and all of this. And what he said to me, which stuck with me, is he said, you get to a point where you drive the same cars as the billionaires, you live in the same street as the billionaires, your kids go to the same school as the billionaires, you live the same life as a billionaire, especially in Australia because you don't have jets in Australia, right?
100%.
Like in America. So you basically live the exact same life. You just have an M in front of you on your balance instead of a B. And so he goes, my question is what's the value weighing up from going, because to get from 20 million to 1 billion is a lot of work. And I understand that the progression is a thing that we entrepreneurs strive for. But where do you draw the line? Because I would hate to look back and go, no, I wish I spent more time with my kids.
I understand. Wow, that is amazing. In my opinion, to provide is someone that is the leader of their family, and it's their responsibility that everything inside your household is working in harmony and is working with compassion, kindness, and smoothness. This is my opinion. So imagine you arrived in your house, you have your wife, your 3 kids. If one of your kids is not doing well in school or lying, or if your partner is never happy, or if she's not satisfied with you, it's your responsibility to provide. So provide, a lot of people think it's only the money. But in my opinion is, how much do you need to provide for a family to be happy? It's $2,000 a week. It's $2,000 a week, but it's your responsibility every week to do it. It's to give 1 hour a day quality time to your partner and 2 sacks a week. You're going to have to do, it's picking up your kids at school, taking them to eat, talking with them, let them speak. This is providing. And then you provide to your mom, you provide to your father, to your friends. So this is the crazy day of someone like us that know that everything and everyone is relying on us to succeed and to live in harmony. And I believe that the world is needing more people like this, that they feel responsible for everything and everyone around them.
And so I guess that comes into that strength component. And it's not about just the biceps on your arms. It's strength, and it's that thing we spoke about in that last conversation about like walking into all the different rooms.
Yes.
And being able to close one door and open another one is so powerful because you kind of have this responsibility. And there's people that that common hate in the comments about like, no, like you need to be vulnerable, you need to be open, you need to be honest. And I do agree with that. I just think there's a line you have to draw as well, where it's like you can't just be a soppy mess at all times, because you need to have that confidence and instill that confidence in your family that you are able to provide in all those areas that you're explaining. Hey.
100%, man. For instance, I'm going to tell you how you provided for me as well. Did you notice any difference on me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
I lost 8 kilos since I met you. 8 kilos. And I still 3 to go. For sure, I'm not going to say that you're 100% the reason. The reason is many people, my partner, my coach. But you would be able to say 35% of the reason that I put effort in my body. So you are providing through social media. That's the beauty of social media. Not only me and impacting people that you don't even imagine. So imagine if you didn't want to record this video today. Imagine if you're lazy. Imagine, today I'm not going to leave the bed. I'm going to snooze. None of these would create. Maybe I would be still 9 kilos heavier. And you know, does that mean 9 kilos heavier? Way less quality of life. Way less everything, including money, family. You know the impact of an unhealthy life has in your life. So that's why I always like to remind you and to believe in you to keep going, because you have been doubling up every 5 weeks. You are really, really getting time and bending time and showing that it's not to do only time, it's intensity. So thank you so much, because you helped me also losing weight, focusing on my health. And a lot of times when I don't want to train or when I don't want to do something, I ask myself, what is Chris doing now? Probably already done an ice bath, already replied many emails, already checked his bank accounts, already organized meals, already replied to suppliers, organized podcasts, organizing the trip, cafes, know how many videos he needs to post, and the people in the US reply to them, talk to your parents. Go, I imagine them, man, how many hundreds of thousands of things you do in a week. And is reflecting. So thank you. Because when you decide to be a provider, when you decide to be the man that you are and the human that you are, because don't get me wrong, I don't believe there is like, the male. No, it's the human. Male and female. There are many women that they provide for their whole household. I know many guys and many girls that they were raised by amazing women. You know, so for me, now our generation is not about male, female. In my opinion, it's human.
And you mentioned there that obviously, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thanks for receiving.
And it's very kind. And it means the world. And honestly, those are the things that actually matter for me. It really does. And I have had some awesome encounters recently with people about impacts that I've been blessed to make for them. And it just reminds me of like the feeling I get from that is greater than anything else I've ever felt, and it's so awesome, and I really appreciate it.
It's your mission. You're aligned. This is your field. This is your mission. You're aligned. So this is what it's. I ask you. It's not money.
No.
So this is one of the main things for me. I know you were talking about entrepreneurs and the ones that are different, but for me, you're not an entrepreneur if you're moved by money, as crazy as can sound. I think money is a consequence for all the hard work and compounds, for all the days you woke up early, that you did your very best, that you didn't lie, that you called people, that you do the wrong stuff, that you paid the bills, and then suddenly, you know, the lucky days come, my man. Everyone have lucky days. It's proved by science. But where are you going to be on your lucky days? Home, jerking off, playing video games, with all due respect, or you're going to be in the streets, going for a run community, going to a cafe. Because, man, the best contract I have now in one of my business, the best one, I was working out on the beach, on the bars, and then I just looked back, you know, my personality, started talking to this Irish guy that I didn't know was a very successful man close to Brisbane. It's one of the best contracts I had, because I woke up early. I did my meditation, stretching at the beach. Then when the sun was rising, me and a couple other guys there, and I said, who is this guy? Because it's hard to be here. And I love places that are not many people, that shows that it's hard. on the top of a mountain, there's not many people. 5 o'clock in the morning on the beach, there are not many people. Why? Because it's hard to go there. So that guy was always going through something hard, and he met me exactly in that moment. So man, there is not a chance in a million years I can call hundreds of phone calls, I wouldn't get that contract. But because I was at the right moment, in the right time, and I left my house, I had a lucky day.
And then also on top of that, though, is when you're fit and healthy, people take you more seriously. And so I think there's that pillar of being able to, like you mentioned that when you were growing up, you lacked self-esteem because of all of the shit that people were telling you that was kind of drilling into your mind that you're not good enough, which then when you look in the mirror, you can lack that sense of self-worth. But honestly, and a question for you is when you've lost 8 kilos, tell me, does your self-esteem increase?
Man, my self-esteem, you have no idea how my life changed. I never done a diet before. As you know, my father family, they own supermarket. And my mom family, I think I had meals out, like I ate away or in good restaurants pretty much every day of my life. I know it sounds crazy. I never weigh any food. I never scale, like I was really come from a place with a lot of abundance, like eating is a thing. So at the moment that I started weighing my food, like really having a look on carbs, protein, getting to know what fasting is, understanding the benefits of a cardio, of walking, how many steps, stretching, connection, and all the supplements that I'm taking, and all the sunlight and everything compounding. Today, I feel amazing, I feel aligned, and for the first time in my life, I love myself the way that I should, and I like having time by myself. I didn't even know this was a thing, man. Losing weight and focusing on my body made me for the first time in my life, and it's very hard to say this because I didn't even know. I always wanted to be with someone or doing something, but not be with myself. Why? Because when I was by myself, why I'm binge eating, why I'm still not living in the truth, why I do things that I should. But now, man, I'm already without sugar. I'm already without all this shit food that you put in your body. I'm eating healthier. I'm working out, waking up early. I'm starting to feel self-love. And do you know what is amazing? And a lot of people that are religious and go to church, a lot of Christians, Muslims, Jews, they don't understand this. There is only all the commandments, all the rules, they all finish in one thing. Love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor. So love God is keeping all the principles of a good life. It's really understanding that once you lock your door, it's not only you there. Everything that you do behind closed doors is also you. Makes sense? And it is seen, as crazy as can sound. And which is amazing because a lot of people think that when someone is not seen, nothing is happening. But you're going to receive karma the same way. You're going to suffer the same way as you're doing in public. This is crazy. Do you agree?
I do. And I think, honestly, it gets hard for me when I get all these messages from people saying that they're unhappy, they don't like what they're doing with their life, they, not having good connections with the people around them, they can't seem to find their tribe, they don't like their old friends, but they can't meet any new friends at all. And, I look on their profile picture and they're overweight. And I just go, the main thing that you can do, which is, like, you can't miss it. Like, it's broad daylight. You know what you need to do. And, like, fixing that one thing makes everything else so much easier. And you've just explained it. You've just explained every single area of your life improved by getting in better shape. And
only this.
You gain more self-confidence and self-esteem, everything in your life will get better. And that's just one little thing that you get, a benefit that you get from losing weight or gaining weight, depending on what side of the spectrum that you're in. But I just think, truly, if your health isn't in check, nothing else matters. Let me ask you this question. If you ever get sick and would you rather $1 billion but be in a hospital bed, or would you rather be on the come up, not have much money, really struggling, but you're super fit and healthy.
Without a question.
Exactly
Without a
right.
question. Super fit and healthy. And the amazing thing is that I didn't know how it was to feel this way. Because our body is so beautiful, man. And I want people to know this. No matter how bad you have been eating, no matter how bad you have been putting things in your body, our human body was created by God in a perfect harmony. We can cleanse our bodies. What you ate 3 months ago is gone pretty much. You know, what you used 6 months ago is gone. So that's the beauty. We can start every day. You can start now to have a better life. And that's where I come with the self-love. So now I can love myself, spend time by myself, grow, read, journal, having more awareness. I can love other people. So my question for you is, someone that is living a very unhealthy life, a life of destruction, because it is destruction, destroying yourself. We have more connections in our gut than in our brain. So 93% of the people with depression and anxiety, they just did a research in California, it's because of their gut. And that's so true, because a lot of the feelings that I had before said, why am I feeling sad? Diogo, you just had a whole cake of chocolate. That's why you're feeling sad. Your gut's dying. So my question for you is, Chris, you think someone that is destroying their lives, love themselves and can love other people? Do you think that may be the reason of so much abuse, of so much hate and wars? Because they're not even loving themselves. So how does that make you feel? And let's go a bit above this. Have a look on the health ministers in the whole planet. Almost all of them are overrated.
Yeah. Yep. And I think with this though is health's one step. If we look at self-love and where this can stem from, right? Like getting in good shape is one thing. Having something to strive towards is another thing. Like letting the soul-led version of you lead the ship and steer the ship is the key to that. Because again, tying to what we said at the start of the conversation is if you're living life that's not aligned with you, how do you expect to have self-love? You're going against the life that you truly want to live.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that stops us is we're clouded with all of these things and all these opinions from other people, all these other things that we think we should do, the fear of what people are gonna think of us if we fail. But when we actually strip it back, none of that actually matters. Because the only thing that truly matters is when we are living with our soul and we're actually we're letting our soul lead the way to the place that we're truly trying to get to. Because I would argue that not even 1% of people in the world are even doing that. So if you come to me and you say you're unhappy, what are you doing? Are you doing something that you are passionate about, that excites you, that springs you out of bed in the morning? Are you eating good foods? No. Are you training the soul and the body? No. Are you being kind to your mind? Are you being kind to others? Are you giving because you get this good feeling about giving to other people? Are you projecting your shit life on other people? Because all of these things are actually ruining your life. And the crazy part about it is all of those things are free. It's not like a pill that you take that fixes it. It's not like you need to have all this money to be able to start doing all these things in your life. It's all a mental game. You said to me earlier, I can't get in the ice bath. I'm like, well, you can. You won't die, I guarantee you. And it's the same with all of these things in the life. People come up with excuses as to why they can't do something, but in reality, it's just their mind is beating them and they need to get out of that habit because it's actually ruining their life, trying to live someone else's.
Wow. Nice to meet you, Chris. You were inspired today, usual. Thank you, man. Thank you. I imagine you having so much self-reflection by yourself.
It's a blessing and a curse, I think.
It is a blessing and a curse.
But I think most things are. I really want to talk back on this moment. You were talking about entrepreneurs just earlier.
Yeah.
And it was about the showing up when you don't want to show up. They're doing all of these things. That's a really cool concept. And I guess where that leads for me is because you're defining it as entrepreneur, but I would define success in the same way. I would define like success to be, how are you showing up on that average Tuesday when you have no motivation and you've just been in the red all week last week and business is hard and you've still got to show up? Like, how do you show up on the days when you really don't want to? If you show up and you don't let your mind beat you and you show up, I truly believe that is what success looks like to me. Because it's not no destination. It's not really the journey either. I truly think it's that character that we build on the way. And the more we do things that we don't want to do, like I'm going to encourage you to get into an ice bath, like those things actually help us more. That's what success looks like for me. Doing those things that I know I should do even when I don't want to do them.
Wow, completely agree with you. And man, someone last week asked, like this happened a lot with me. A lot of people call me or message me saying, man, I'm stuck in this problem. I don't know what to do. I really need a miracle. A lot of people call me when they're really in the edge of needing a miracle. And the advices that I give or the tips that I give is the last one they ever expect to receive. For instance, my friend, this crypto coin, I don't understand much about crypto. I really need to go up. The other one say, man, I really need these shares to go up. Or the other one, I really need this house to sell. And I tell them, why don't you go to a grocery shop, like go to Kohl's or go to Aldi and wait an old lady that you can tell that she doesn't have much money get in the shop. And before she pays, you go and pay for her ticket, for her shops. Why don't you go to a homeless and help a homeless live in the street or pay them a nice meal? Why don't you go with a place with kids with cancer and help them? Because a lot of times in life, and we don't understand this, all you need to do in this universal, karmatic, cosmic, that is only needing you to put some good in there so you can receive as well. So a lot of times we are waiting for something amazing that we really want to do, but we don't understand. And that's what I always tell people that call me in those moments. I say, man, go and give something back. And a lot of times the lady that they purchased the shops is a client that they were waiting. It was a multi-millionaire lady that lived at the top of the hill. I heard this story. A lot of times I already heard this story so much. My mates that I said, man, you want the Bitcoin to go up? Go do something nice. And he stayed the whole day in a hospital as a clown with kids with cancer. And he gets home and he tells, Diogo, it's 10% off. And he said, man, see, a lot of times we don't realize the impact we have. Even though there are billions of people in the planet, I don't care. You are special. You are unique. And the universe is spinning for you, from you, and within you. So a lot of times it's just do something good. Get out of your bed. Go talk to someone. Go record a podcast. Tell your partner that you love her. Go take your kids on a travel that you are not going to. Does that make sense, brother?
Why do you think giving is so profound and powerful?
Man, I believe giving is the ultimate expression of love, even if you don't want to give. Giving is so powerful that even if your intention is not even giving, will be received in the universe. Because this is energy. When you give something that someone is needing, you're loving yourself, you're loving others. And you're honoring this giving universal law. Because the whole universe, if you think, everything is moved by giving. Like we inhale oxygen, and what do we give back? CO2, like carbonate oxygen to the plant. So everything's giving, receiving. Our whole body is giving, receiving. So we put water, we eliminate water. So I believe giving is so important. And imagine if everyone woke up once a day and said, I'm going to give something to someone today. In how many seconds you think the world would change? Seconds. Seconds, I'm telling.
How important or is receiving important?
Receiving is very important as well. But you can only receive if you are a good giver. Because a lot of people, when they receive, they already think, oh, what can I give back? Or a lot of people, when they receive, oh, what is this person trying to give me? Especially when you are a woman receiving some gifts from men. But no, you receive, wow, thank you. Because it's a gesture, it's something that is coming from you, from someone that chose you to give that. So once you receive something, you need to take a moment. That's what I always do. When I'm spending money, thank you so much, God, universe, bless this person. I always do this since I'm really young. When I'm receiving money, no matter how much it is, man, it can be $1. Wow, thank you so much that this money just found my account. I'm so grateful because, man, we cannot take for granted money. Money is a very switched on energy. You have no idea how many people that thought they were rich, they got their empire down in few days. Because it's an energy that not only chooses you, but to remain with you. You must be aligned and be the best version of yourself if you're making money through light and through good.
It's so powerful. I look back to the time when I was so driven by money, and it was just my thing. I just wanted money, 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 money. And guess what? I like some people do well when they do that, but I didn't. I couldn't make anything. I was struggling so much. Dude, I was just wanting money, 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 money. And I made no money. I couldn't make it. I tried starting all these businesses and they all failed. And I remember this encounter on the hill when this lady said that I saved her life. And I just had this massive shock through my whole body where I just go, fuck, that is the thing that matters. I just need to keep doing that. And I remember I started just doing that and I focused on giving. It was this pivot in my life where I had to look in the mirror and go, no, that's not the thing that matters. The money stuff isn't what matters. The giving is really, if I keep giving, because the feeling that I get from doing that is better than any other feeling. So if I just keep doing that, the world evolves around feeling. I truly believe that. If I just keep doing that thing that makes me feel the absolute best out of everything else, which isn't money, the money will come. And I did that, and more money came into my life than I had ever made in my whole life. And so then my realization now, whenever I'm in a state of wanting more money, the default is, okay, what value can I provide?
What can I give?
What can I give?
Wow, you're so aligned, man. Bro, this is so good to live this way. Hey, it's a different way. It's a different way of living. Wow, it's amazing.
I think honestly what comes with it though as well is when you remove the need and the urge to make money, you remove the money from the pedestal.
That is true.
And when you remove it from the pedestal, it's not as hard to get because things that are on a pedestal are hard to get. That's why they're on the pedestal. And so ultimately, for me, it's like I really resonate with you talking about money being an energy because like when it comes and goes and we're level and we're one with it, where the money's one with the earth, you don't care about losing it and you don't really care about giving it. It's just like it's going to come back, it's going to leave, it's going to go. And I think it removes a lot of the little stresses that most people have in their life around money.
I totally agree with you. Man, the love for money is the root of evil, if you think. Like when you really love money, when you put money first on everything, you're not gonna give quality time to anyone. You're gonna end up lying, stealing, deceiving, because you money. You love money. But once you take money, as you said, as your God and everything to you, put it aside and understand, hold on, money is very important, but it's a tool for me to achieve everything that I want. There is absolutely no problem for you to have a good amount of money and a good portion of earth. If you go now to an Australian beach, there's so much room for you, so much money for us. Is that true? Like you walk, man, in Australia, I can start dancing. I'm not going to touch anyone. There's like so much room for you. So once you have money, but not in a loving relationship, but an exchange relationship, understanding that every time that comes to you, money, thank you so much for choosing me again. You know, it must be an ongoing, forever practice. Thank you. I will bless my mom. And then when you're transferring money to your mom, just on yourself, mom, receive. Make the most of this energy. Because, man, I can tell you, life is extremely hard. But when you're successful, when you have money and you build a good business or a good life or a good career, it's easier. That's the truth. Life with energy from money, it's an easier life if you're connected to yourself. Why? You know why. It's obvious why it's easier. You can achieve more. You can travel freely. You can be in multiple locations. You can have the best tools, the best AI, the best health systems. You can provide for your family. You can have clean water. And tell me, was not everyone supposed to live this way?
Yeah. I think I really want to talk on this topic that it was probably the most profound thing, and the thing I really enjoyed from our last conversation was when you were talking about the difference between religion and God.
Yes.
And it's so fascinating because after that conversation, I've brought that up a few times because I resonate with it quite a lot.
Yep.
I grew up in no religion family. There's no religion at all. And so when I look at all the really high achievers, I find that most of them have a relationship with God. So I go, I can't shut that down. Most people that are really high achievers, name any famous person, anyone you love online, and see if they have a relationship with God. They do. Try and find someone that doesn't. So I've never shut that down, at least from the last few years. But when you said this thing, it really, really hit with me when you said that religion comes to separate people. You mentioned it's Jews and us, Christians and us, Muslims and us. And I find with that is how you're saying like they always, like, anything can be a religion. It's like they can just set, like, they have an idea and they want to get other people on this idea. And I'm getting people more and more recently. There's mutual friends of ours, and there's other people that have recently found God, but in a Christian form. And it's this feeling of like projecting the thoughts onto you, like it's the only way. And I just resonate with your way of thinking so much. How you say like, no, like it's not about this thing. It's not this divide. It should be this person or this thing that we can. I mean, you can probably explain it in a better way, but
100%.
Talk to me about how you feel about when people are trying to project their thoughts
100%.
Onto you.
So put it this way, you now are a man that have been traveling a lot, and you saw how big the world is. So in Australia now, you're seeing people, friends of ours or people that you know are becoming Christians, or people are becoming Muslims if you were in the Middle East, or if you were in India, people are becoming Hindu. All depends where you are. So so what happens is, this is what happened with religion, and I'm gonna tell what happened with God. With religion, you really know that is something messes up with you. This is universal. We're always struggling. We all have on us a desire to find God and to fill this gap, to fill this with something. So religion, they're gonna fill this gap with a community, and they're gonna fill this gap making everyone in that community think that they are the only ones and the chosen ones, or the people that only them are doing exactly the way that you do, or how they think and how they believe. They are the ones that are chosen to live a better life. It's in after here. It's not only here that would already make you upset. It's even after here, they're going to still be in that because they live in that way. And this is extremely dangerous. There's a lot of danger on this, because those people, they're going to start thinking about everyone that they like or everyone that they love. Sometimes it's their sister, sometimes it's their brother, sometimes it's a friend. And call them and say, hey man, everything that you believe, everything the way you do, everything is not this way. The way is this way here and only. Now I'm gonna tell you a relationship with God. A relationship in my opinion, that bring good to earth. And a relationship that, in my opinion, that's how Jesus came to teach. It's your testimony. It's your life that is going to speak louder. You don't even need to be calling anyone and telling anyone to be living A + 1 + 2 = X, and that's how you live and that's it. Otherwise, that person is going to be destroying hell. No, it's the way that you live. You're always ready to speak how you live, with the way that you take care of your body, the way that you pray every day, the way that you do breathing. This can be a religion. You can create a religion, Church of Chris. And I can guarantee you, in a year, you're going to have 1,000 members. But my question is, those 1,000 members, how they're going to behave? In a religious way, on a relationship with God? Religious way, like, how can I love you? Tell me, how can I love you if I already look at you being destroyed? Does that make sense? How can I love you if I already have a wall between me and you because of the way that you live in? But look at the relationship with God. You have this relationship, you walk in truth, but you're not coming to impose anything. We're not coming to judge. Man, Jesus, the thing that he disliked the most and the only thing that made him upset, okay? What made Jesus upset was not hanging out with people that did porn, with prostitutes, with robbers, with liars. He hang out with the worst people you can imagine. He was all good because he came for those people. He came to teach a new way of living in truth. But the thing that made him so angry that he wanted to fight people was religion. He hated religious people more than anything. That he used to say, you are doing everything wrong, Jesus. How can you be drinking alcohol and call yourself a Christian or a Jew? You're drinking alcohol. How can you be... Oh, this is religion. Look at the difference. Jesus, you're drinking beer. Man, how is the feeling? I'm not a beer person, but are you enjoying? You see the difference of loving. And so that's what I believe. It's very easy for us as humans to put ourselves in this state of negativity, this state of hate, this state of religion. And that's why, man, the same amount of people, and it's proved by numbers, the same amount of people that go inside religions are also the amount getting out. Makes sense? Yeah, because I couldn't stay in that for long. I could not stay in a long place where my neighbor are going to be destroyed, where Mohammed in the Middle East that never heard about Jesus are going to be destroyed, or a Chinese guy that is doing rice. And we can talk so much. So for me today, and I live such a better life, thanks for listening, is God first, the rest follows. God first, yourself after, is not even the others after. I never want you to put myself first. He never said this. It's you first, then you love others. Remember the airplane, first the mask on you, then you can help others.
What was just so profound about that is at the very start you mentioned that people look and they typically will join a religion when they're at a low place in their life.
Yes, that is true.
And when I look at that is, all the people that have come and preached to me, they've discovered this thing at a very low place in their life or at an extreme challenge, and it's changed their life or their outlook on life. And so now they're going, that's the only way. I think what's really interesting is just that projection, it's creating that divide between the two, because if you believe that that's the only way to live and anyone's not in that way of living, there's going to be that divide in your life. And so the example is someone that was speaking to me recently about religion, and I was coming back saying, look, I'm not quite there yet. I don't really resonate with that approach. And then he said a line around, I would hate for you to get hit by a car tomorrow and die, and then I never see you again. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he says, because when you get up to the gates, he'll make you turn around, and basically saying you'll go to hell. And it's just this crazy thing where I'm like, honestly, I really dislike that approach to living, because I think it just creates a divide. And if love and harmony is something that we should be striving towards in our life and be an emphasis in our life, doing that is precisely the opposite. Because you may love me and you think I'm amazing. You may hate me too, but if you may love me and think I'm amazing, but all of a sudden you onboard a certain belief that means you need to think a certain way, and because I don't fit that criteria, you don't look at me the same way, but I'm still the exact same person.
Wow, it's so amazing that you feel this way, that if you really research the story of Jesus, he got so upset with Jews all the time saying, us heaven, you hell. That he said, hey, I want to create a new rule. And the rule is no one has the authority or the right to tell anyone that is coming up or down. Because imagine the amount of nights I didn't sleep well thinking I was going to hell, buddy. You think it's only you? Because you're very strong and you're already in your mature age. But imagine now being the kid of someone that thinks this way, and you are 18, 16, or 17, happened to me, you're 15, and you don't resonate, in my case, with a religion that I cannot even say I adore a fruit. This is how extreme Christianity can get. I can only say I like, because adore only God. Makes sense? In my family religion, they don't even see Jesus as God. They see Jesus as a human, because how can Jesus be a God? And I can keep going, telling many things. Every church, they have their own ways of thinking. It's normal. So that's it. So imagine how much trauma this created on me as a child, thinking that because I wanted to say I adore a fruit, I might not go to heaven. But because hell, as I said, is not, you're going to suffer for 1 year. It's forever. So man, question for you. This shouldn't be also maybe even illegal. That's why Jesus said, don't do this. This is terrible to do this to people, because you're going to create traumas. You're going to make people suffer. You're going to create hate. And buddy, religion is this. Muslims at this moment that we are talking, killing Jews. Why? Because Muslims believe, no, it's my land, my God, my religion. Jews, no, it's my land, my God, my religion. Go research about the Crusades, and see how many Muslims, Christians killed. Man, who do you think killed the Aboriginals or the indigenous in Brazil, the indigenous in America? Which religion they were? Christians. They were way more like, so we cannot generalize. Like, no, it's not the name, it's not the religion that you have. In my opinion, it's the person, it's individual. And that's what Jesus also said, hey, even in the church, even in temples, there are good people and bad people. It's not because everyone is in a church that everyone is good. Or it's not everyone that is in a run club, is that when everyone is in politics want to help. We never know. So we cannot judge. And the most amazing thing that I know is that he also said, because everyone in that time is similar, oh, now it's so much worse. Want to judge. Everyone is judging everyone. Oh, look at his hair, look at his fat, look at his eye. And he said, and look how amazing Jesus was. Hey, before judging anyone, you're going to judge someone? Okay, I will let you judge, but let's judge everything on you. And remember, the way that you're judging people is how you will be judged by God. So do you understand he was not religious? Do you understand that he was extremely poor? They didn't have a place to sleep, didn't have a house, used to walk the whole day. His disciples were completely like the craziest people you can imagine. And this is religion. And then the new belief, and then if you go and research, religion came to kill, steal, and destroy. Relationship with God came to give you life, and life abundantly. That's why successful people are abundant, because they understand that they are connected with the creator of the universe, the creator of every gold and silver. So tell me, man, what is $10 million? What is $30 million to the creator of everything to give you a portion to help others? So that's what I believe.
It's so powerful. And you mentioned that having that belief at a young child just gave you sleepless nights, and it was really hectic to think that, oh, I could go to hell because I don't believe in this. You said the word trauma. Does that thing still come up in your current life? Those back, or have you resolved it? Every day.
Every day. Imagine this affected you when you heard from him. Imagine you hearing from your parents. Imagine hearing this from your brother, from your grandma, and from your great uncles. So until today, sometimes, I'm doing something that my family says that I don't love God. And then I recycle my mind and I talk with myself. I know, because the trauma is, I don't think someone can heal a trauma to never go there again. Put it this way, imagine I build your house. Okay, I don't like giving myself in bad examples. Imagine John is a builder. He built your house and he didn't do the second floor really well. And then you're walking in your room and suddenly you fall to the ground level and you break both of your legs. And you call, John, come back and fix this. And then you don't even hire John, you hire me. I do the best work in the whole planet. I use a tilted slab concrete, impossible to fall. I can guarantee you, every time you walk in that room, you're gonna feel something. Even that you're not gonna fall again. And that's what a trauma is. I don't believe you just need to learn how to deal with and live with. So what I do today, I have hundreds of traumas that I learned how to deal with, because it is messed up to grow up in a religious family. It is, I'm telling you, as a result of this. But I'm very grateful as well. I'm very loving, and my family is very kind. As I told you, I don't want anything to do that I'm bad-mouthing, but I'm talking specifically about this religion thing. This really gives you a lot of traumas, because comes abuse with this, comes a lot of second thoughts and low self-esteem. And how can I hang out with my friends? How can I hang out with my friends if my parents or my family is already judging their family? How can I sleep? I couldn't even sleep with my friends. Like, so much. And today I look back and say, okay, the trauma is coming. That girl said I was ugly. And if I'm ugly, I'm alive. This is how I talk to myself. And so many people say I'm good looking, my mom, my partner, and they, oh, Diogo, you're going to go to hell because you're not going to church. Hold on. If I'm going to hell because I'm not only going to church, what is this truth? Does that make sense? Oh, good. Let's go. Who else is going? This is how I think. And I start joking with myself and talking. So all the time the trauma comes, I acknowledge, I look from above, like I withdraw myself and I communicate with the trauma. And it's crazy because now, like, for instance, when my partner that I love so much, I see that she's starting maybe to talk a little bit with her voice. I just tell her, hey, I have traumas on that. Would you mind talking in another time? Because I grew up with violence many times and I really ever want to live this again. I cannot change my past, Chris, but I can choose my present and have a much better future. Your past, my past, we cannot change it. Most of our past, we didn't even choose. Did you choose where you're gonna born? Did you choose your family? I don't know if we did. Did you choose your school? Was so many things of people choosing for us. But now you can choose which water you're gonna drink, who you're gonna hang out with all due respect, who you're gonna have intimacy with, and who you're gonna give your time to. You can choose, and choose wisely, because your future is dependent on every single decision that you make today.
Yet people still don't live for them.
True.
And I think it's a really awesome reminder to go, yes, you can choose. Like all the things that you're doing in your life, you get to choose. I don't care what you say about, no, I don't, like this is here, I'm stuck here, I'm trapped here. It may feel like that, but you get to choose. And I truly believe that. And I think if you're in a spot that you don't want to be in your life, you put yourself there. And being able to look at yourself in the mirror, take ownership of the place that you're in and go, I am here because of me, no one else. That's when you can then start taking the steps to get yourself out of that place. We've all been there. Recognize that. You're not alone. You're human. You go through phases where you don't feel like you should be where you are. It's up to you to go, is it my fault or is it someone else's? And if you choose it's someone else's fault, you'll be in the exact same place and you'll still go through that shit time that you're feeling right now. Or if you look within and go, okay, it is my fault. Yes, there's work required to get out of here, but it's on me. That's when you can start taking those steps closer towards the life that you actually want to live, as opposed to just living in someone else's shoes or living a life that you don't want just to please someone else. And I think that's how most people live. And they just need to take that first step. And then one thing will lead to the next and one thing will lead to the next.
Wow, brother. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is so true. And we all have a friend or a brother or a cousin that they're always expecting everyone to be generous with them. They're always expecting that someone is coming to save them. They always sit down on the couch. I know people that spend hours, if I won the lotto or if that rich uncle gave me $1 million, it's not going to happen. No one is coming literally to save you. Mm-hmm. You will have to put the hard work on. And even if someone is coming to save you, it's not fair that you don't work hard for that person that saved you. Because if they're saving you, they put a lot of work on. Mm-hmm. Put it this way, how much you think your ancestors sweated for you to be here? Imagine, brother, your great-great-great-great-grandfather, he took care of your great-great-great-great-grandmother and made sure she didn't die, made sure she was fed, and then again and again. So you were born. Mm-hmm. So imagine how much hard work was for your ancestors. So you come into this life and not being the best version of yourself and not taking care of your temple and not doing things as you should be doing, give your very best to at least honor all the thousands of people that came before you, that didn't die when the wolf came to attack, that didn't die when another culture came to kill you, that didn't die when those diseases came in the world, that was always escaping, getting into boats, getting into airplanes with no suitcase, maybe not even speaking the language, for you to live a mediocre life, for you to waste your life. It's not fair. So if you want some motivation, go research your ancestors and see how much they did. See how much dog poo they have to get for you to be where you are. And if you don't mind me sharing this now, I really felt this strong in my heart. And this is something about Australia as well. Aboriginals of Australia, no one can change the past. We have absolutely nothing to do with anyone that killed your ancestors. We also, Europeans, have a lot of ancestors killed by other ancestors. We cannot change the past. People that are arriving in Australia now, I know it's an amazing land. It's beautiful. Immigrants that are coming here, please respect that the ones that are here now worked so hard for Australia to have this infrastructure and to be this paradise. Chris, I don't even talk other language with my son in public. we Italians or some cultures, we respect so much the locals that it's not fair for me to be speaking a language that you don't understand in your house. Makes sense? So immigrants, respect the local, respect the culture, grow and do your very best. And locals, understand that you need to learn with other countries in Australia and not make the same mistake. Be very selective in who is coming in. Be very selective with the house rising. Really do your very best to keep Australia the best place to live in the planet. Chris, we are the 4th in the Olympics. Chris, the whole, like everyone is looking at us now. We need to do things correctly. So I thought to share this because I know there's a lot of political tensions. I believe the secret for Australia to raise like never before is immigrants. 1/3 of the population was not born here. Locals and the Aborigines as well. We all come together, create with peace, leave everything that is behind, because soon we're not going to even remember. Do you know? Tell me who killed your ancestors 800 years ago. You don't even know. Maybe it was Swedish or maybe it was a Turkish guy. Are you going to be blaming Turkish until today? No. So let's leave the past in the past and create a new future. Because I believe now is the moment on earth that we need to leave all those bad things behind and do something. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to save the planet. You know what is going on.
I want to ask you about the breath work we did. Why did you get emotional?
I don't stop, Chris. I don't stop much to have time to myself. I only started stopping now because I saw that sugar was the worst thing for me, and I didn't know for my ADHD, for my anxiety. Now that I don't have sugar pretty much anymore, and I don't eat those processed foods, and I've been healing my gut and healing myself, I've been more aware. So every breath work that I did before, and so many other things that I did before that I had to focus, I cheated. My mind was not there, was not doing the breathing. So now I was aligned to be here and do this whole breath working at once. Man, I cannot even explain to you what I felt in that breath working. It was like I was connected and one with everything, and at the same time, I was me. I was an individual, collective being doing that breath working. And it's so amazing because we don't pay attention in many things in life. And when I was doing that breath work, I was able to pay attention to so many things that happened in my days, in the last few weeks, and understand, because I don't know if you feel this way, but how many things we could be better. How many things we could listen someone a bit better. We could maybe pay that bill that we didn't want to pay, or we could maybe give the chance to that person, and we don't do. How many things we could do better. So I believe breath work is a humbling experience to show me that if I think I'm somewhere, I'm still so far away. Cannot even hold my breath for 1.5 minutes without my whole body goes crazy and amazing. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think life can get chaos and it can get so busy. So many different things that we're doing and so much on our mind. And that thought that you just said there around, do you feel like you could be doing better? That takes up a lot of space in our minds. I think it's one of those things where you just constantly feel like you should be doing more. You're never doing enough. And, you know, I often question if it does more good than bad, because I look at it and that's probably the very thing that's helped us get to where we are today, because we are harsh on ourselves.
Yeah.
But I often think that, does that strip away our opportunity to enjoy a lot of the things that we're doing because we never actually appreciate how far we've come?
Yeah. Man, I already achieved many things in my life, but I was never able to celebrate. I never thought one day in my life that I did enough. I always think I didn't do much, and I do so much, but I don't think I did enough. So that's something that I'm still discovering. And doing the breath work, something that I heard in my heart is, you are enough. What you do is enough. And I believe this is the biggest trauma that I hold. At the feeling that I thought I was not enough is the feeling that you not belong. And a lot of people in our generation, the way that our brain is formed, like, look at all the people. I don't have friends. I don't feel that I belong. So, man, it's extremely hard for people sometimes like us, or people that have this energy, to feel that they're achieving something, because we think so highly and we have so much pressure and we want to achieve such high things that no matter what it is, even you, for instance, look what you already achieved on social media. Sometimes I'm sure that you might think, even if it's on a Friday night, you by yourself, could be better. This video could, because this is us, and I don't know. I asked people, like, I read books, like even King Solomon, the richest man on earth, he felt the same way. King David, you research so many people that came here, and I don't know, can be a blessing, can be a curse, but can I tell you something? We are enough. We are doing our very best, and even if we don't win anything, any medal from man, we're gonna receive a medal from our highest self every single day saying, hey, well done. For again, because that's the key of life for me. Change a bad habit with a good one. And can be anything, can be driving and texting. I'm going to replace this habit today and I'm going to sing a nice song. I'm just going to sing for half an hour. I'm not going to stop. I guarantee your day is going to be better if you only sing. Do you know what? Today, I'm not going to be watching again another series that is not going to give me anything. It's only going to bring me anxiety. Today, I'm going to go to a run club. I'm going to go to, do you know what? I'm going to go on jet ski. I'm going to find a new hobby. People have time. Everyone, there is not more, this is the time on earth that everyone has more time. No matter your job, what you do, if you're a laborer, you're going to have more time now. Why? Technology, machines. So use this time for good habits. Use this time to I'm going to change this. That's what I tell some guys that work with me, that traders, they drink 4 or 5 energy drinks. That, man, why don't you do this? Every energy drink you drink, you must drink 2 liters of water. And they started doing this. They only have 1. They don't have much. Because water also gives us energy. Our body is made of water. 85% of your body and your brain is made of water. It's not Pepsi Max. It's not orange juice. It's water.
Yeah, I feel like that feeling of I could be doing more is like a daily feeling. You just feel it, and it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
It just seems to go and then you get a cool victory and a cool little win, and you still think that you could have done better.
And ask Lou, Stephen Curry.
It's that quote. It's that quote. Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, and winners work as hard as possible. And they're still wondering if they're being lazy.
Wow.
And it's just this crazy feeling. When you're feeling those lack of self-love and you're feeling those things where it's just like, you're not good enough. We all feel them. How important is Alicia and having your partner in your life in those moments?
Man, crucial. I don't know how some men, I understand it's a phase, but I don't know how can someone go through life without a partner that you love unconditionally and it's there for everything for you. Because putting it this way, if you're falling, imagine I'm falling. They are there. Alicia is there to bring me up. If she's about to fall, I bring her up. It's harder to break someone and to have a partner than someone that is by themselves. So Alicia, she's the personification of the love of God in my life. It's crazy because every single trauma to do with a relationship, everything that I had to do with her is easy. And with her now, I understand why every relationship didn't work out before. So she always encouraged me. She's always helping me with everything that she can do, and it is literally 50-50. Even if someday she's 60, I'm 40, I'm 70, she's 30, we're always there for one another. And don't get me wrong, we're extremely different. We have a lot of difference from one another, but we respect one another. I respect that every day she speaks with her family, and I speak with my family only a few times every now and then. And I respect that, and it's beautiful. So I learn with her the family values. I'm sure, this is the beauty of Australian and Kiwi families. You guys talk a lot, and it's very easy, the healthy families. So I respect that Alicia, the way that she sees life. She also sees life in a way of enjoyment and fun. While myself, sometimes you can be dragged off this business world that you forget to have fun. So it's always amazing to have someone willing to bring you fun. But the very best thing in my relationship, no matter the truth, no matter what we need to speak with one another, and I learned this with Alicia, the truth will always welcome. She creates a safe space that I can tell her everything, that I can be there for her, and that we can grow together. And I love her so much. I never even had a thought about being with another person. I know she's the one. I knew since the beginning. And why she's the one? Why your partner is the one or John's partner is the one? Because you, every single day when you wake up and every single night before you sleep, you decide. So for me, there is not one person waiting for you in Jamaica and her name is Jennifer. Because put it this way, if Jennifer make a mistake and marry someone else, mathematically, like if you go to maths, the whole world collapses. One mistake that someone, and how many mistakes we are making every day as humans. For sure, you see how many people are dating and they were not supposed to be together. So mess everything. So the way that I see it is, Chris, you're a woman. Your partner is the one you're going to choose every day. It's a daily decision to love someone. This is my opinion. For me, love, it's a decision. It's not a feeling. You every day will decide, I will love my society. I will drive careful. I will love my society. I'm not going to be lying to people and I do business. And it's a decision. It's every single day you decide.
Do you think, though, the more you love someone, the harder it is to, like, the more you're going to love for that person, right? Because if it's a daily decision, that's like it's, okay, we're starting from square one again and we go again. But I think for good and for bad, emotion gets in the way a lot of times and it can mask how you're actually being treated by that person or how they're actually impacting you in your life. But the love kind of masks what they're actually doing because you've been with them for a long period of time. Example, family as well is, oh, they're family. I've got to spend time with them. I've got to do that. That's what we've always done. But if they're being a negative in your life, just because they're family, friends, loved ones, they're still, like, having them as one of your main people in your life. If it's negative, it's still rubbing off on you whether they're family or not. So do you think it actually is an everyday thing where you start from scratch, or do you think it's a constant battle where the more you spend with someone, the more it develops?
I believe it's a mix between compounding everything that you do, every time you open the door to your partner, every time you give a chocolate. But at the same time, I believe that every day starts fresh. Because put it this way, imagine you're married with Joanne for 10 years. You always treated her amazingly. Wake up on a Monday, start swearing, cheat on her, you know what I mean? Start doing terrible things, use the money, lie, and tell me what happened in that night. All the 10 years are gone. This is the crazy thing about, one of the crazy things on earth to me about being on earth is that everything that you did that was good to someone, as soon as you do something bad, is gone. And this is a reflex. Go watch sports. For instance, I can tell you so many amazing soccer players that for years, everyone were yelling their names. But at the moment that they start playing bad, everyone hates them. But it's not only hate, they want to kill them. Because love and hate walk together. It's similar energy, but opposites of the ball. So,
man, I mean, like, thank you so much for
thank you. What a
coming on the show.
conversation.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
100%, man. I just want you to tell me now, as an Australian that traveled to another country, and we spoke about the US and traveling everywhere, do people love Australians a lot?
They love Australians. Yeah, I think an Australian with the right mindset can do really well in a place like America. And I emphasize with the right mindset because I think if you just have an expectation that it's going to solve all your problems, you're extremely wrong. And I think having expectation with anything in life can lead to disaster because that's how you get disappointed and that's how you think you should be having something or you should feel deserving of something when maybe you actually don't. But I think a place like America is extremely different yet still the same. I think what the reminder for me is its environment's so important with like what's around you and the people around you, the places around you. Like if you love beaches and every time you go to the beach, you feel this euphoric feeling of excitement when you jump in the water and you wash your face with some sand. If you remove that from your life, maybe it's the feeling of jumping in a nice cold in temperature water, right? If you remove that from your life, that's a simple joy that is free that you get to do every single day when you're in close proximity to it. And you remove it from your life, it's actually kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit, because that's something that you genuinely really enjoy. And so I think what I learned when traveling was there's things that I really love in my life. And, you know, the more I grow on social media, the more known I become, the more money I make. It doesn't really matter as long as I have all of those little simple joys in my life. I think that the feeling of joy is something that I really cherish, and being able to feel joyful is exciting. So yeah, I just think that that's something that I want to keep having in my life. And I was reminded with that when going and leaving Australia and leaving places like the Gold Coast as well.
Chris, you're going to travel the whole world, my friend. You're going to meet people from absolutely everywhere. And I believe that your partner is even international. Who knows what is going to happen?
I met some pretty cool people over there.
I can't
that's
imagine.
For sure.
I can't imagine. Do you mind only sharing one name? Or is it secret? One name of someone very special that you met?
I met a really cool girl named Bea.
Bea.
Right. And she was just awesome. Like, me and Mitch, my videographer, one of my best friends, we just got along with her really well. And like, it was just one of those things where we'd known each other for one day and we could just sit and look at the stars and not talk for hours. And it was a cool little connection where I met all these famous people, massive celebrities, and all these people while I was over there. But when someone said to me, "Who is the most interesting person you met?" I said Bea.
Wow, that is
which
incredible.
Is so random, right? And I think that's quite special. I think it's just a cool reminder that, like, you know, there's people like that out there. And it's not like I was looking for that connection. It's not like I was looking to meet that person. It just happened. And I think just being able to soak in those moments when you get them is awesome.
Thank you
and
for
not
sharing.
Treat them like they're fleeting, because I think when you're treating them like things are fleeting, or that you're not going to have this person for life or whatever it might be, or this place for life, I think you don't show up the way that you could if it was like going to be a lifelong relationship or connection. So I think just treating things that you're doing with the lens that the impact you're making on this person now you'll have for life. It's a cool long-term play.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, brother.
Man.
What an amazing episode. What an amazing time.
I love
you know I
this.
love you. You know I love, and I love this. Is so good. Thank you. I'm still feeling the breath working.
I appreciate you so much, man.
Appreciate you, Mom. Would you buy my fire?
Thank you so much. And if you guys have made it to the end, how awesome is Diogo, guys?
You are.
Please, I'm going to leave all of his details in the show notes in the description below so you guys can go check him out. There's some magic in this conversation, and I'm so grateful for you and for you to be in my life. You've made me a more positive person. You've made me look within a lot more, and you've made me be a lot more grateful for everything in my life. So I just want to commend you and just thank you so much for everything you do for this world. And even on the days where you don't feel like you're worthy, I'm always here for you. So I appreciate you. And if you made it to the end, leave us a review on Spotify or Apple. It helps the show grow, helps us keep getting amazing people just like Diogo back on the show so we can all keep on growing together. I'm going to sign out for this week, but I'll see you next week.
Bro, you're a natural. You're so good in this. This is this was credit for you. Wow.